Hello, my name is Dee Mueller-Utek, and I'm with Drake University Head Start Project Launch. We are funded in part by a grant from the Iowa Department of Public Health and SAMHSA to improve child wellness outcomes for children ages birth to 8 throughout the state of Iowa. Today we're going to be talking about self-advocacy and advocating for your child. Advocacy can be many things, and it can take many forms. There are many working pieces, such as problem solving, knowing your rights, overcoming fear, working together to solve a problem, asking for help, believing in yourself, finding the support and assistance that you need, and speaking up. Believe it or not, you advocate for yourself on a daily basis, in small ways. When we think about advocacy in action, we might think about healthcare or health insurance, reaching out to the insurance company to secure services for one of our family members, or to adjust a bill that we weren't supposed to be billed for. But reaching out to our landlord to let them know that we have a pipe that needs to be fixed or a problem with the heating unit is also self-advocacy, because you have rights as a renter and you know that you're entitled to certain things under those rights. And so you reach out, you speak up, and you have the goal in mind of solving a problem, getting the heater fixed. So you work collaboratively with the landlord to do so. Another example of advocacy in action every day is being at the grocery store. And perhaps you've been overcharged for an item. So you may tell the cashier, which is again speaking up, and the cashier may bring the manager over, and you work together to solve the problem because your right as a consumer is to pay the advertised price. Sometimes there's challenges with advocating for yourself or others. Typically, that's when the situation involves something that might impact you on a different level. Paying $1 too much for some ice cream at the grocery store can be a lot different than your child's health, for instance, or getting a needed prescription, or having your child be able to have a behavior plan that works for you and your child's teacher, and most importantly, your child. During these times, you can feel anxious about what's happening, or maybe even embarrassment about situations. You could fear a poor outcome, that things won't go your way, or worry that emotions might get high, or tempers might flare, for yourself or for the other party. You might be concerned that things can get worse than they already are. And past experiences may be affecting how you feel and think. Whatever is making it difficult for you, it's normal and it's valid, and you can work through it. But there are some first steps that you can take. Keep in mind that if a person doesn't know about your situation, they can't help you. Once you realize that you need to advocate for yourself or a loved one, emotions or tempers may flare, and you may need some time to think about it or cool down. Or the other party may need time to think about it. And thinking about it from all sides is important. If there was an issue in your child's classroom, for instance, it might involve another student, or it might involve a transitional time when students are switching classes or moving to recess or lunch. Those are typically times when students can have behavioral issues. But keep in mind that your child's teacher has a whole classroom to manage. And so that might have been a high emotion time for your child's teacher. So giving that teacher 24 hours to cool off before addressing the situation might be a good idea. Find out if there are policies in place to address the situation and if those policies have been followed. Think about ways that you can connect that are respectful to the other party. Connecting with a teacher at 8 o'clock at night probably isn't the best idea. And finding connections in areas that you have in common is also helpful. Letting the teacher know, for instance, that you both want your child's behavior to improve in the classroom can help build trust and can help build a relationship with that teacher and an attitude of problem solving. Keeping in mind that calmness, kindness, and reasonableness can help any situation, even when others are not being reasonable. But again, the most important piece of those first steps is to remember that if a person doesn't know about your situation, they can't help you. We're going to talk about some keys to effective advocacy, such as educating yourself, learning about the agency you're working with, and what resources are available to help you. You can use the internet to research if you're not sure, and be sure to write down or save what you've learned. Pay close attention to details. Listen closely to your child and others that you work with. Provide details of the situation when you talk with others. Take notes of phone calls, meetings, and updates, and keep any paperwork, emails, or other records in a safe place because you may need them later. And if you don't understand something, make sure that you ask for help. It's your right to understand what is happening. Speaking of rights, knowing your rights is critical. Some agencies have a Bill of Rights, such as a patient Bill of Rights or a victim Bill of Rights, even a student Bill of Rights. But there should at least be some policies or procedures in place to protect you or your child. Find out. The agency should tell you, and they probably will if you ask. And ask plenty of questions. Even if you're afraid to ask for help in the beginning, believe in yourself and reach out. Friends or family members can help you. If you're intimidated by the person you're working with, or if you're not getting along very well with them, it might help to ask if you can work with somebody else, or if you've got a friend or family member that can talk on your behalf. Examples of questions to ask would be, what has already been done? Or what policies are in place? And when can you expect to hear back? It's important to know these things. Setting goals and clear goals can really help. Having at least one goal in mind as to how you'd like to resolve the situation can make a big difference. Reaching out and contacting someone and letting them know that you're dissatisfied with what happened is quite a bit different than reaching out and saying, I understand what happened and here's a solution that I think might work. That at least lets them know that you're in the mood for problem solving and finding solutions. And if you try to choose words that are going to keep people thinking about problem solving, it can help your situation. Positive words like, I'd like to, or what would it take, and we'd be willing to try this, as opposed to negative words like, I don't want to, I can't, or telling someone that they never respond, can make a lot of difference as well, and let them know that you are genuinely in a cooperative place where you can problem solve. And other problem solving words, such as asking if you can work together, or letting them know that you're willing to try something, as opposed to saying you should or you should not. Nobody wants to be told what to do, and it probably won't help the situation. Stating your goals clearly and practice stating those goals if you're not comfortable saying them. Talking through them with someone that you trust can help as well. If you get nervous talking to people in person, try phone calls or emails. Practice until you're comfortable stating your goal, and remember that a little bit of nervousness is completely normal and it's okay. When you care a lot about a subject or a person, it's natural to be nervous when you try to help them. Finding support and help can very much change the situation. It can help you. Advocating for yourself is not always easy, and it's okay to get the help and support that you need. The agency you're working with is usually willing to help you. Find outside support if you're not getting the kind of help and support that you need within the agency. Friends or family members are a great source of support. A supervisor or administrator may need to be called in, though, if you're not getting any results or if you're not getting satisfactory results. And definitely take your time. If you need time to cool down, try the 24-hour rule. Waiting 24 hours can give everybody's emotions a break and give us all a clearer perspective. Ask for time to think about solutions before you agree to something if you're not fully comfortable with it or you still have questions. And feel free to ask clarifying questions. And never be afraid to ask for time to think about a situation or to process through a situation with someone you trust. Going into a situation with an open mind and a mind for problem solving can help. Consider other solutions that might be presented once you start working with someone else or with a team, because goals may change. And thank people for their time, help, and effort. This can help build trust, and they'll be more open to working with you in the future. Ask for different solutions if you're not comfortable with the ones offered. Trust yourself. Be brave and trust yourself. Try to keep discussions reasonable because you are only responsible for yourself. And if someone else is unreasonable, remember that it's not your fault. And the only thing you can do is try to remain calm and reasonable because you are the #1 advocate for you and your child, and it can make a difference. In summary, educate yourself and pay attention to details. Know your rights and ask questions. Find help or get support to get the answers you need. Set clear goals. Be ready to solve problems and take all the time that you need. But above all, be brave and trust yourself.